Hi, and welcome to the Gamer Get podcast special bonus episode. This is a podcast where we get gamers on to talk about games and the latest gaming news with a focus on Japan. Today's episode is a special bonus Final Fantasy 16 spoiler cast where we'll talk all about the game. I'm your host Genki, a passionate gamer living in Japan and often tweeting about Japan and Japanese games. Today I have with me a very special guest to talk to me about all things Final Fantasy 16. Please welcome the Final Fantasy 16 mega fan and the Japan Cafe and Events Master, Alice.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alice, and I am actually an English instructor here in Japan. Well, I work for a company that provides English lessons to our clients, and actually, in my career, I have taught many people from the gaming industry. As well as a lot of clients who are also big gamers. Well, I'm also into anime, manga, light novels, and mobile games. And since I live in Japan, it's basically like a heaven for someone like me because there are so many events, exhibitions, and collaborations almost every month. So, yeah, because we make my own schedule for work and I can always fit these events around my schedule.
Oh, nice. That sounds awesome. So yeah, you must
Yeah,
like
yeah.
living in Japan with all the events you can go to.
Yeah. I just check my calendar and schedule every month. Okay, where I can put this event and what time and what day I could go.
Would you say
Yep.
you go to like an event like once a month or once every couple of months?
Well, actually, before the pandemic, I would say almost at least twice, or yeah, at least once or twice a month.
Oh yeah, so thanks
Yeah.
so much for taking your time to join me for this special episode. Yeah, also as part of this podcast, I like people to talk about their gamer origins, just to find out how people got into video games. So yeah, Alice, I'd love to hear like how did you get into video games and like video games from Japan?
Okay. It's kind of interesting. How did I get into video games? I suppose this was one of many reasons or causes. Because when I was little, my mom often took me to like game arcades that were usually on top floors in department stores after shopping. And at first, I just played some easy games, that were suitable for kids. But gradually, I became interested in watching people older than me playing other games in the arcade. And I found myself wanting to try it too. So this is kind of like a funny story because I still remember it like vividly because I asked my mom if I could try those, the motorbike video game in the arcade.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she
The ones
didn't
where you
stop me
can sit
though.
on the bike.
Yeah. The one that you can sit on the bike and try to ride it. Yeah, she didn't stop me. Yeah, she let me do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's probably the start of it. And then later, one of my cousins gave me his extra Game Boy, and I guess that officially started. And also, it was like my first game, playing on a console. I mean, and my first game was Kirby, and then Tetris.
Oh, awesome. OG Kirby and
Yeah,
Tetris. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
and
cool.
yeah, I still remember that. And I think somehow, maybe I still have that old Game Boy in my old house.
Oh wow. This is the
Yeah,
classic
it's
grey
antique now.
one, the big one with the
Yes,
the blocky one, right?
yeah, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, so I think that's kind of start, my interest in gaming. And then, well, because I lived in Taiwan until I was 12 years old, and then moved to America after that. So I watched my cousins playing Sonic, Zelda, Donkey Kong, and many other games. And again, I found myself that I want to try to play it. Just watching is not fun anymore. And so, yeah, I just asked my cousin if I could also try the game when they are not playing that. And then, funny enough, at the time, my mom was into Fei Wong's music, and Fei Wong happened to sing the song "Eyes on Me" for Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so at the same time, I also thought, okay, I could play the game and see where or how the song was used in the game. So yeah, I would say that Final Fantasy VIII was, yeah, my very first PlayStation game.
And your first Final Fantasy game?
It was the first Final Fantasy game, the very first PlayStation game. And it's the game that got me completely into gaming world. It really opened my eyes to other games from Japan as well.
Yeah, that's similar to me. I think the first Final Fantasy game I played was also Final Fantasy 8, and it was a PC version.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't have a PlayStation 1. I would just play PlayStation at my friend's house. Yeah, I had it on PC, so we had like a really old PC, and we had like this really like random controller to play it on.
Yeah.
It was just like a cheap, unofficial like PC controller
I see.
to play it on. But yeah, it was fun. The
Yeah.
cutscenes were like really amazing.
Yeah. I still remember I was like, amazed by the cutscenes. So that got me into Final Fantasy series, and so that actually made me curious, because I thought the story was pretty impressive. It was interesting because the first playthrough, there were some parts that you didn't really get it the first playthrough, and so you start to do the second playthrough, then you noticed something, and you started to understand the story a little better. So after 8, I actually went back to play 7. Yeah. So I started with 8 and then went back to play 7. And then I watched my cousin play 6. I didn't get to play 6 because he was playing that. I didn't get a chance to play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have that. Yeah, a few games I would watch with my brothers.
And then after that, I got the news that 9 was going to be released. So I was really excited. And yeah, so I got 9. And then of course when they announced PS2 and also Final Fantasy X, of course I bought it immediately.
Oh yeah, 10 was awesome for me. Yeah, I bought like a wall scroll, and I bought like little figures. They were
Yeah.
quite big figures
Yeah.
for Final Fantasy X. And yeah, me and my brother would play it, and then I would be obsessed with Blitzball, the Blitzball mini game. Even though a lot of people don't like it, but I loved it a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, I actually know quite a few people who really love the Blitzball game, and they say that they will spend hours just to play that, not doing the main stories.
Oh yeah, that was me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to play 11 because it was the first online one. So
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
haven't played the online ones.
yeah, I couldn't play that, and at the time I was also getting ready for university, so that kind of cut me from gaming for a while. So well, I'm just glad to be able to be back to play games more nowadays. So it's fun.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, thanks for that, Alice.
Mhm.
Yeah, so now we know about how you got into games and the Final Fantasy series. Yeah, we can get into the main topic of today's episode, which is Final Fantasy 16.
Yay.
So yeah. So yeah, I know you've really been enjoying the game so far. So what you said you've already completed it twice, and you're on your third playthrough?
Yes.
Okay, wow. That's impressive.
So yeah, I mean, I guess that can tell you that I really love this game. So yeah, I did my first playthrough on story focus mode, because I just wanted to really immerse myself into the game world, and also try to get used to the combat just in case if I'm not good at it. But luckily, it was
Yeah.
quite easy to understand and quite easy to get used to it. So my second playthrough was Final Fantasy mode. Then I decided to do a third playthrough, still in Final Fantasy mode, because it's actually more fun to do that in Final Fantasy mode. And I just decided to talk to every single NPC and eavesdrop on all the conversation that popped up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and just take as many pictures and videos as possible.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. Yeah, we'll get into that more later in today's episode. Just to warn everyone, today's episode is a spoiler cast, so we'll definitely be going into the story and the characters and lots of different spoilers. So if you haven't completed the game, please come back and listen to this episode once you've finished the game, if you don't want to get spoiled. So Alice, I will also want to talk about the Final Fantasy 16 Cafe in Akihabara.
Yes.
The special Square Enix collaboration.
Yes.
I know, we went together
Yes.
a couple of times, right? And
Yeah.
it was quite fun. and lots of decorations and stuff. But yeah, if you want to talk about like how was your experience at the cafe, and yeah, what is the cafe, the Final Fantasy 16 Square Enix Cafe?
Yeah, sure. Like I said before, I really enjoy going to these collaboration events or collabo cafe, what we call in Japan here. Yeah, the first time, or I should say, the first dates for the cafe was quite short. I think it was only 3 weeks for the first round, and yeah, I of course I would book the tickets immediately and go there. I was really surprised that the drinks were very impressive and beautiful.
Yeah, they were really cool.
Yeah.
They're all themed after all the different icons, right? The different
Yes.
drinks.
Yeah. So yeah, of course each drink has the icon theme, and of course the taste were all quite unique, really interesting, really good also. I have to say my favorite was probably either Ramus or Garuda's drink, I think.
Those were quite good.
Yeah. I mean, you went with me to the cafe as well. For you, is there any like
Hmm.
particular drink that you thought it was good for you? Like you thought it was tasty?
Yeah, I like the Ramu one.
Mm-hmm.
The Shiva one was not too bad, even though it had like these blue jelly things in it.
Yeah. It's kind of like
Yeah, it was
minty
tasted
jelly.
good. Yeah, minty jelly. But yeah, I thought it wasn't too bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I actually have tried all the drinks, like each icon's drink. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay, wow.
yeah. So like you, I thought Ramus was probably the best, and then Garuda's. I mean, the reason I like these two the best because they are not too sweet.
Oh yeah, some of them were like crazy sweet, right?
Like Odin. Oh my gosh.
Like the Odin one. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't try that one. I tried the Ifrit and Phoenix one.
Yeah.
That one was quite sweet.
Yes, that one was also very sweet. But the design was amazing though. The design was really cool with
Yeah,
Ifrit and
it looked
Phoenix.
awesome.
Yeah, the design looks awesome. It was also sweet, but I thought the sweetest was probably Odin's drink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because everything was just grape, like grape soda, grape jelly, and grape syrup at the bottom.
Oh wow, grape
Yeah.
overload.
Yeah. It was just grape overload. For people who love grape, they might like it. For me, it was just too sweet, so I only order it once.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The other one I thought was really good was Bahamas. It's a bit like citrus flavor. Not too sweet. Also, Ramus was like a cashews or mixed blueberry, I think.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was like it's like a purple color, right?
Yeah, and then Garuda's was basically gin tonic, but minus the alcohol. Yeah, I quite like those three. Because after we went to the cafe together, I also went there by myself for a few times, and yeah, I found myself just keep ordering these three drinks.
Oh, okay. The best ones.
Yeah.
Keep ordering them again and
Yeah,
again.
I don't mind drinking them over and over. Yeah.
Yeah, their drinks were really cool, and yeah, I like the color and the design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some of them tasted good, some of them not so good.
The not so good one. I mean, this might be a little bit biased, but the Titan one was really bitter.
Okay,
I was a little bit
that's true.
shocked because it was basically non-sweetened latte.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
Oh.
so I didn't really read the description carefully, and so I actually checked it and found that it's unsweetened, and if you want, you need to get syrup to add it yourself.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but
Oh my
originally
gosh.
it's really bitter.
Oh wow. And what did you think about the decorations in the cafe? Because they had like this really cool artwork at the back of the icons fighting. Yeah, they had like some framed pictures of different artwork from the game.
Yeah, they in the back wall, the largest part. At the moment, they changed it to the Shiva versus Titan fight that we see in the beginning of the game.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, so I think they might change that design for the next part because at the moment it's just additional dates for the first round. And I'm assuming they probably will change that background again for the second part.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, and then for the section where it's for guests who go there by themselves. In front of them, they have these like I guess it's almost the same size as postcards. It's like each icon's cards, like picture
Oh
cards.
wow.
And they also have like quotes from the game on those walls as well. Yeah.
What do you think about the goods that they gave away at the cafe? Like they gave away these like coasters and these like placemats.
Yeah. Well, a lot of my close friends know that I am a maniac at collecting these coasters and
Oh,
lunch
okay.
mat. And that's why I went to the cafe so many times because I tried to collect all 18 coasters. Now it's
Oh
22.
my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh
because
my gosh. Gotta catch
the
them all.
first round, yeah, exactly. The first round when we went there, it total were 18 designs, right, for the coasters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now they added 4 more new designs, so now it's 22.
Oh wow. That's a lot.
And yeah, I went to the
And the
first round a
coasters you
lot.
get with the drinks, right?
Yes, yeah. Luckily though, you don't have to order the collabo drink to receive the coaster. You could also order the regular drinks like a hot tea or just like a regular ginger ale, and they will also give you a coaster for that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good tip for people, as like the themed drinks cost a bit more, and you can just get like a regular coffee or tea, which will cost less,
Mhm.
but you still get the coaster.
Yeah, and especially because for these collaboration cafe, a lot of the themed drinks are carbonated, and so sometimes some people they don't like carbonated drinks so much. So yeah, for those who don't like carbonated drinks so much, yeah, you can just order regular drinks, tea, coffee, or even juice, and you can still receive the coaster.
Which was one of your favorite coasters that you got?
Um,
Oh yeah, I remember you got the Clive one, which was awesome.
that was a rare one. I really think that they probably
Yeah.
purposely print his coaster like very few or something because
Mm-hmm.
it was maybe my third or fourth visit that I finally got a Clive coaster. Yeah. I mean, you were there too. You saw that. You saw how many Phoenix coasters I end up with.
Oh yeah, he had a lot of doubles for Phoenix.
Yeah, it was crazy. I end up with a lot of Phoenix coasters, and all my friends were joking and say that. So you're the one that actually has Phoenix blessing. Yeah, so a bit too much though. I think the blessings.
Yeah, too many blessings for Phoenix.
Yeah, and yeah, luckily, finally, I got all the 18 designs, all the 18 coasters from the first round now.
Oh wow.
And then I also got the 2 new designs from the additional one.
Oh okay, so you got 2 left to go.
Yeah, 2 more to go. Because for the 4 new designs, I got Gav and also Sleipnir.
Oh nice.
So I only got Uncle Byron and Mid to get for next time.
Oh okay. Uncle Bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome character.
Yes, yeah. Don't we
Okay,
wish that
that's
he's
cool.
real uncle?
Yeah. Good uncle he is. And how about the food at the cafe? Which items did you enjoy the most?
I think every time when I went there for the first round, I always order the Rosaria stew.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That was like a creamy, like stew with like carrots and chicken.
Yeah. So yeah, it's creamy stew with bits of chicken, potatoes, and people who play the game, and I think everyone already noticed that Joshua hates carrots, and so
Oh
when
yeah.
they serve it, they also purposely put carrots separately in a small glass bowl.
Oh yeah, it's on the side,
Yeah,
right?
it's on the side, to
Yeah.
yeah to symbolize that that Joshua hates carrot.
Yeah, maybe this dish was for Joshua.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I quite like the stew. It actually tastes pretty nice. So yeah, I think I always order that when I went there. And the next one that I also always order was that black tea chiffon cake. That was representing
Mm.
sunbreak, I think.
Yep. The Sunbreak cake.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
It had like the flag, right? The flag of Sunbreak or
Yes, yeah, that one.
on it, yeah. Yeah, that was a good cake.
I think you ordered that too, right?
Yeah, I ordered that the second time we went there.
Yes.
Yeah, that was really good. I really enjoyed that cake, and yeah, it had like some cream on the side,
Hmm.
and yeah, it was really good.
Hmm.
And I also like the like Dalmatian chicken
Yeah,
one,
Dalmatian Cajun chicken. Yes.
Cajun chicken. Yeah, that was good. And it had like these glass noodles
Hmm.
that were blue
Yes.
to like represent like the sea, like the really blue Dalmatian sea, or
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
was it a lake or whatever? Yeah. So
The
yeah, that
Oasis
one was
part.
really yeah, the Oasis part. Yeah, I thought that was good as well.
Hmm.
If you like chicken.
Yeah, and because I went there again just recently with one of my friends, and who also just started to play Final Fantasy 16 recently, and she ordered the chicken, Dalmatian chicken, and she was surprised. She said, "Oh, I never expect collaboration cafe's food could be this good."
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, cause like I went to the Kingdom Hearts one there,
Mhm.
and the food was terrible. It tasted like aeroplane food.
Oh my god!
So yeah, so this time like it was a bit of a step up. And the food generally tasted quite good. Apart from the toggle, the toggle
I
dessert.
know. I'm so I yeah. I know. It's like I'm so sorry to
It's
say
like super
this.
cute. It's so cute, but oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, it's so cute and it's beautiful for picture. But that's it. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean,
It was like
it's
some black
sesame pudding.
sesame base, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's sesame
And it's
pudding.
like
Well, black
it's
sesame
not
pudding.
sweet
Yeah.
at all, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. It was really
For
that was a tough one to finish.
yeah, yeah, because they also put a lot of whipped cream on top.
Oh yeah, yeah, and you don't like whipped cream, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't like whipped cream, and so it was kind of like a torture for me to try to finish that,
Oh yeah.
and also I asked my other friend who also went to the cafe and tried the Torgal sesame pudding, and she said that yeah, it was not as good as she expected because the sesame flavor was too light. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't have much. Yeah, it was light and it wasn't very sweet either. If you
Mm-hmm.
just the sesame part alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's yeah, I think that was the only thing was a bit a letdown, I guess. But it looks cute, really cute.
Yeah, yeah. It was really cute with like the little strawberry as well.
Yeah.
So like overall, what was like your overall thoughts of the cafe?
Well, I mean, if 10 is the full score, I would give it an 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I mean, I have not tried the other two dishes. The Walud squid ink pasta.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't try that one because well, personally, I don't like squid ink pasta. That's why I didn't
Oh
order
yeah,
that.
me too.
And yeah, and also, I also didn't order the Iron Kingdoms the curry, like super spicy curry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't try that either.
yeah, because I don't eat beef, and this curry got beef in it, so that's why I couldn't order that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's cool. Oh, okay, so altogether, 8 out of 10
Yes.
for the cafe. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's a good score. And yeah, I think I'd give it what would I give it? Maybe a 7 out of 10. I would have liked more music. Because like in the background they were playing the trailers, and you could hear the
Yeah,
characters
yeah.
talking in the trailers. But yeah, I would have
Hmm.
liked it to have more more of the soundtrack playing in the background.
Yeah, they did actually because when we went there, it was before the release of the soundtrack.
Oh, okay. So after the release, they started to play stuff.
Yeah, yeah. After the
Oh,
release,
okay,
they started
nice.
to play the soundtrack because I just went there, and yeah, because the soundtrack was already released, and they started to play, the music from that.
Oh, okay, awesome. Yeah, that would have made the experience like a tad more better for me personally.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Alice, for that. Okay, so next we're going to talk about Final Fantasy 16. Now, Final Fantasy 16 spoiler cast. So, overall, Alicia, you told us that you really enjoyed the game, and you're on your third playthrough now.
Yes.
Yeah, you really enjoyed the game. Yeah, how was it, like, your overall impressions of the game so far?
My overall impression, I would say the story was pretty good. Um, it definitely can grab your attention and be completely like engaged with it. And just like Yoshi P said, it will make you feel like you don't want to stop. And it's kind of hard to find a place to pause to stop the game. So I thought that overall, yeah, I was really impressed with the way how the game tells the story, and also I love how each character, even NPCs, have a lot of dialogues and also background stories for us to understand the world better. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So.
yeah. I felt that as well. Like, well, what Yoshi
Mm,
P said about it being like, yeah, you don't want to put it down, and like you said, it
mm-hmm.
was going to be like a roller coaster, and yeah, I really felt that. Like, yeah, it's really up and down with like these super hype moments, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it just like plays with your emotions, and like the intensity is just like always up and down, and
Yeah, yeah. For me, yeah, for me, I also felt that too. It was like a roller coaster ride for emotions. You felt angry. You felt sick to some parts. You feel happy when the characters are happy. You just feel happy for them. So yeah, I mean overall it was really good, a good set of characters, and also I feel like nothing felt too out of place. It's like the story did have a kind of like bad guy of the week feel to it when you focus on Benedicta and then Kupka and Barnabas, without any mixed interaction between you and the player and them as a group. So it's kind of cool, so your focus in the game.
yeah, for me overall, like, yeah, I really enjoyed the game, and yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was really exciting, and the story was like really intriguing and exciting,
Mm-hmm.
especially like the opening. Like, it's like really stunning when you play it, when like in the demo, and
Mm.
yeah, it's just like like it's like a drama. You just want to find out what happens next, and yeah, I felt the icon battles was super epic and super fun to play, and like yeah, they were
Yeah,
just going crazy.
yeah. I will replay as many.
Oh really? Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like it's like an episode of Dragon Ball for me. Like, I used to watch Dragon Ball growing up a lot, and yeah, that felt like a really epic Dragon Ball. They're like
Mm.
doing these like fusions, and like they're doing like these kamehamehas and spirit bombs,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, it felt
Definitely.
like a really like epic action anime.
Mm.
So yeah, that was like kind of crazy for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have to add one thing. So I mean, basically,
Mm-hmm.
it's on the good side, that in this game we don't have like a storytelling gimmick. Where the characters explain to each other about their own world or what you should do, like that. So I like that, because in some other RPG games, you got characters explain to you, the player, but you as a character in this game, in this world, should already know these detail. But you got other NPC to explain to you about the world. It's kind of strange.
Yeah,
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 but luckily, yeah,
yeah.
luckily in
I'm glad
16,
they didn't have
yeah,
that.
they luckily they don't have that in this game, so that was a really big bonus and big plus for me.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we'll just go into the different points. First, let's talk about the combat in the game.
Hmm.
How did you like the game's action combat and action focus? Yeah, as compared to like the more turn-based in earlier Final Fantasy games.
Hmm.
Do you prefer like the action, or do you prefer the more turn-based combat? And yeah, how was the action combat in Final Fantasy 16?
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, like I mean, we start the series from like the turn base, and nothing against turn base, but I feel like for me, once I started the action, real time action combat, I don't think I could go back to turn base anymore.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I find myself enjoy the real time action more because
Oh, it's like more engaging.
yeah, more engaging, and I can see the result immediately, and I can adjust how I, how I do my next step, and I can see, I can study enemies attack and learn from that. So yeah, I mean, once I started the real time action combat, yeah, I really find myself impossible and very difficult to go back to the turn base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the action combat is really good in 16. So yeah, that makes sense with
Yeah,
the real time.
yeah, so I think that's why I enjoy it so much, and actually, starting my third playthrough because now you have acquired all the abilities, right? And then you can kind of mix and find your own play style with each icon ability. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I just kind of really enjoyed it.
Oh, okay, nice. Thanks. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, me too. I've really enjoyed the like how stylish and engaging the combat is in 16.
Hmm.
Like yeah, and how you can customize the different icon abilities.
Yeah,
So you can like mix and match, and it allows you to be quite free, like mixing different icons abilities onto the same area. So like you can easily switch between like the fire or the phoenix powers, and then you can just switch to like the titan straight after that.
yeah.
So yeah, I really liked how they did that.
Yeah, because I'm sure like each player has their own style, and then you can find um, the combination that you are most comfortable with, that you think it's the easiest for you to play,
Hmm.
and then also you can switch out the abilities, you know, based on
Yeah.
which different enemies that you're facing. So that's why I find that this design was actually quite smart and very clever.
Yeah, yeah. I liked. Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. And yeah, like yeah, being able to switch out the different abilities, and yeah, some of the abilities are more like defensive, and some of them are like more long range. Yeah, you can just mix and match to suit your style, which is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and that's why I'm just testing out different kind of play style on my third playthrough. Yeah, that's why I think really that's the one of those reasons that I do my third playthrough.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it looks so stylish, right? All the moves, like the animations,
Yeah,
they look super, like super hype and like
yeah,
super cool.
and then, and it's like I find myself try to go into the photo mode when it's like
Hmm.
in the middle
Oh
of the
really?
action,
Oh wow,
yeah, and then try to adjust the
that's
angle.
awesome.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
Oh right.
what what does he look like?
So you can take a picture with all the effects like all around him and
Yeah,
stuff, right?
So it's like, okay,
Okay. Oh, that's awesome.
it's like, what does it look like?
Yeah, it's really flashy and
Mm.
yeah, really like impressive. Okay, next let's talk about side
Hmm.
quests. So like, what was your overall impression of the side quests in the game?
I think overall, I would say, let's see, to give a score, I would give it like a 98 out of 100.
Oh wow, that's high.
The
Oh,
two
it's
points,
a 98.
yeah, 98.
98 out of
Because
100.
the 2 points,
Okay.
the 2 points were deducted. For some
Hmm.
quests, I thought it was a little boring.
Yeah,
So,
I got
yeah,
that a lot too.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I personally wouldn't rate the side quests that high. I thought they were like one of the more weaker parts of the game.
Hmm.
Just like, yeah, because some of them were quite boring. Like, you go to a NPC and then you talk to them for 5 minutes, and then you just have to go and fetch like some soil or like some
Yeah,
flowers and
yeah.
then bring them back.
That,
So,
yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
those ones were quite boring.
those were a bit boring. But some of them I thought were quite intriguing because they are
Hmm.
actually closely related to the background story of the world, and then some of them actually
Mm.
may include hints or foreshadows. So you mean, of
Oh.
course, you wouldn't notice that when you do the first playthrough, but when you start the second playthrough, you start to notice these small things,
Oh,
and
okay, yeah. I'm currently on my second playthrough, so hopefully I will start noticing those details.
yeah, and that's when I mean, actually it's on the second playthrough that made me to feel more appreciated to these side quests.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You get more, bit more like background and you
Yeah,
can understand
yeah,
them
yeah,
a bit
yeah.
more.
Because you have the first playthrough, you have like a more full understanding of the story now from from start to end, and so when you see these side quests again and then you see the contents and the story, then you realize, okay, I see what they mean now.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of the side quests, I mean, we talked about this before when we went to the cafe. Yeah, some of them made you feel a bit
Hmm.
iffy in the stomach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. There's two early ones where like when you're in the field
Yeah,
going towards Sambrique and then or Sambrek, and then yeah, there's that girl,
yeah,
like the little girl who has a bearer as like a pet.
yeah, yeah.
And you
Clothes.
first you think it's like an animal.
Yeah, where's my clothes?
Yeah. And then you find out disturbing. It's like, oh, it's not like a dog or a pet she's talking about.
Yeah,
It's an actual person.
yeah, and that was
And
the
that
part.
they've been,
Mm,
yeah, and they're all like petrified and they're like basically dead, right?
mm.
So it's quite a shocking part,
Yeah, yeah. That one,
quite a shocking side quest.
that one made my stomach turn a little bit.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, that was disturbing.
the other one also on the other side, the rich, I think it's a nobleman, like the kid,
Oh yeah,
got the wolf to attack the bear.
yeah, that one was messed up
Yeah.
too. Yeah, they're just like get playing with bearers
Mhm.
like they're some kind of toys and getting like setting traps for them with wolves.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
those
that was
two.
quite messed up in the
Yeah,
world.
those two were the ones that made me go like, "Ooh, oh, okay, I'm not feeling so good
Hmm.
right now."
Yeah, that's
Uh,
true.
but
Oh, and there's one later on when you're
mm,
in the Damekian city, um, and oh no, when you're in Martha's Rest, and there's the mother talking about her giving away her child.
yeah, that one,
Yeah, that one.
that conversation. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was quite messed up as well.
Yeah, and the guy, right? People found out that he was actually a bearer after hiding for so long, and then his friend just turned on him immediately.
Oh yeah, his best friend just grasses him up and like he like rats him out,
Yeah, yeah, and I was,
and then he had to run away.
that's so messed up.
Yeah, yeah, just because he's a bearer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like many interesting stories about people being bearers and how they get discriminated
Mhm.
against in the world of Valistia.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, not just not just making you feel a bit upset about it. Of course, there are side quests that would make you feel really um, you know moved and very touched. Like one of the best ones I would say is when Clive reunited with Ambrosia, and also at the end Torgal um, took him to the island.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, those
Hmm.
definitely got me in tears.
Oh wow, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Definitely with the Torgal one, yeah, I felt it, and yeah, the one with Ambrosia as well.
yeah. It's like, wow, yeah, people would betray others, but the animals, they would never betray you.
Yeah, that was quite touching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, especially I reckon the Torgal one is really cool. You can see how he's been like he saved Clive's old like training
Mhm.
sword and his yeah, and he's just been waiting or searching for Clive. So
Yeah,
that was quite moving.
yeah. And it's like and they look towards Rosaria together on that island. It's Yeah, I love that scene so much. I just immediately I recorded and then also took a screenshot. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and also yeah, the Jill one is really touching as well.
Yes,
Um,
it's beautiful.
when they go to the field together. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I felt like because the name in English one, I think it's called Priceless.
Yes, Priceless was the
Yes.
name of that side
Yeah,
quest.
yeah. I think that one. Yeah, and I really enjoy that. I really like to watch that cutscene over and over, and it's the music, background music is also really really nice.
There's some good side quests in there. When you get through a lot of the more monotonous or like less interesting ones
Yeah,
or
but
more
there are
boring ones.
definitely there are definitely some side quests that you shouldn't miss out.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Do you remember the one where you have to give the guy the apples?
Yeah, that one.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! It's like whenever you see like the mark, like this, like a notice, oh, a new side quest is available, and you check the map and you see the map,
Yeah.
the on the mark is like in the backyard, and I was like, oh, I have to go all the way down there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's quite far to get to the
yeah,
garden area. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
because that's when I felt
Yeah.
like, why can't Clive just jump over the fence and go down there? Why do I have to go down all these
Oh
stairs?
yeah. Yeah. I had an issue with that because especially I came off playing like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom,
Yeah,
and in that game like you can just jump and like go anywhere you want.
yeah, yeah,
But in Final Fantasy 16, there's a lot of like invisible
yeah,
walls,
exactly.
like areas you can't jump over. Like even when you're in the map,
Mm-mm.
you want to get from A to B, but there's an invisible wall, so you have to go around.
Yeah,
Like you can't just freely traverse the environments
yeah,
like as you would like. Yeah, especially in the hideout. Like yeah, you just want to jump over the fence and then get to an area like super quickly. But no, you have to follow the wooden path
yes,
all the way around.
yeah, yeah. Because
And it takes like forever.
before 16 was released, I was doing the New Game Plus on Horizon Forbidden West,
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Yeah. So
and
that's a lot
same.
more.
Yeah, also same. You can just
You can go
go
anywhere.
anywhere. You can jump
Just
off.
jump.
Yeah, you can jump off freely. You can roll over whatever, and you can also control either you want to walk or run. You know,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, that was annoying for me.
yeah. But in this one, I cannot.
Yeah, I wish in the hideout there was like a run button
Yeah, me too.
so I can get there way quicker.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I cannot run, I cannot jump over, I cannot roll over. It's like, why?
Yeah, yeah. I hope they fix that in updates or something.
Oh, I
At least
really,
add like a run button
yeah,
in the hideout. Yeah, because having to run over all the way to the garden and then run all the way back to like to mid's place or
yeah,
where the Moogle
hmm
is. Yeah, it takes a long time.
yeah. It's like, oh my god. I mean, luckily, at least in the new Hideaway, there were only two side quests in the backyard, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was it wasn't that many.
yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't that many, but still, it's just the trip
a
going back
few.
and
Yeah,
forth. Like, what do I have to?
yeah. Because yeah, most of the side quests you have to like to get something and then go all the way back and give it to that person. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So, yeah, that was really the some of the
the weaker
mhm.
side quests.
Yeah, the cons. I mean, we talk about pros and cons. That was one of those, yeah, cons.
Yeah, I felt the same as well.
Hmm.
Okay, so next let's talk about the story. Finally, we can talk about the story of the game. And yeah, what did you think about the story of Final Fantasy 16?
I find it quite engaging, and engaging as in because not just the world, and also each character has their own background story, and they are equally interesting and unique. And it makes you want to find out more about each of them.
Hmm.
So, to be honest, I have actually never felt like this in an RPG game before, where
Oh wow.
yeah, where I want to find out more about not just the main characters, but also the side characters or even some of the NPCs. Um, and
Mm.
I remember recently I just read one of a Japanese players who posted about what he thought and how he felt about the story and the character in the game. And he also mentioned this, and I totally agree with him that um, a lot of the details it's not being voiced or said out loud in lines. They are actually being portrayed by the facial expression.
Mm.
So yeah, they have the facial capture for the game, and a lot of times when you watch the cutscene, for example, in the very beginning, well, he mentioned this in his writing, the in the very beginning that um, the way that Jill looked at Clive, that she was really worried about him when other soldiers talking about how he was being mistreated by his mother. Instead of saying that, are you okay, she didn't need to say that, but her facial expression completely says it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Oh.
yeah, a lot of the parts, I feel like sometimes it's not necessary to have words to narrate, to describe the story. Sometimes the music and the atmosphere can also tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
So I thought the overall storytelling was actually really, really intriguing and engaging.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then if a game can make me cry, yes, it's a good game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe I didn't cry that much, maybe just like once. But yeah, I found the story was like really, yeah, as you said, really engaging and really exciting, and like a lot of twists.
Yeah.
And you just want to find out, oh, what is this character, or like what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
So I thought it was quite exciting in that way.
Yeah. And definitely, yeah. It's kind of hard to find a good spot to actually pause and say, okay, I'm done for today. It's like, okay, I just want to find out what happened. But after you find out what happened, it's like, okay, but I want to also know what's going to happen for this one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that happens to me as well.
Yeah.
You want to find out, oh, who is this guy in the hood?
Yeah.
Like who's he? Then you're just gonna go to the next mission,
Yeah,
and then just find
Yeah.
out. And and like, oh yeah, what's happening with Clive and this yeah. So yeah, we also there's this big twist in the game where we find out that Joshua, who Clive thought was dead at the beginning of the game, is actually alive, and we actually find out who the true antagonist of the game is, which it was Ultima. How did you feel about that? What did you think about that twist? And in the story, how it changed, the focus of the story changes from Clive's revenge towards he finds like a new goal, which is to defeat Ultima.
Funny enough, actually, when I was playing my first playthrough, and when we got to the part, in Care Norvin, yeah, I already guessed that it was Joshua.
Oh, okay, really?
It was kind of
Oh
obvious.
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because the way that Yote called him, the title, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but at the time I didn't have like a concrete evidence to support my speculation. But I just felt like, okay, I think I really don't think that he would die that easily.
Yeah.
And so
And he's a phoenix as well.
exactly, yeah.
And like Final Fantasy is like they have the phoenix downs, like
Yeah.
they don't die so easily.
Yeah, like, I have I just have this feeling that he probably didn't die, and then the way that Yote called him at Karen Norvin, like I think this is probably Joshua, but we will find out. And of course, halfway, you saw the cutscene, and it's revealed that it's Joshua.
Yeah, he reveals himself. Yeah, in the cutscene.
Yeah. So
first.
it's like, aha, I was right.
Yeah, he looks super cool, like when he's older, right?
Yeah.
I like his look as he's older.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the art book, and they can show like the art of him as when he's older. That'll be cool.
Yeah, to be honest though, because when we talk about his grown up version for the art, we were talking about this with my other friends recently, and we said, we haven't actually seen any merchandise that's got his grown up version.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, all the coasters, acrylic stands, postcards, everything, it's all the young Joshua.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't seen we haven't seen the artwork of the older one yet, grown up Joshua.
Yeah, and
that'd be cool to see.
So we were just kind of guessing maybe it's a way for people who have not played the game, not to get spoiled by the merchandise. Yeah.
I think it's for spoilers.
Yeah. So, but we also hope that maybe after a while, they would release more merchandise with his grown up version art.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. I hope they do that.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then yeah. Well, we saw. What do you think of the Ultima as the main antagonist?
This is funny because my husband and I were talking about this just the other day.
Okay.
Yeah, and what he said also was something that I agreed. I mean, the combat at the end was cool. However, you know, him being the main antagonist, but we felt like Clive's mother was probably the biggest antagonist.
Yeah.
Compared to her, compared to
Annabella.
Annabella, suddenly he wasn't so bad.
Yeah. What was up with her? She was so like. Yeah, she was so evil.
So evil and selfish. And
Yeah,
yeah,
very selfish.
yeah, we just say like, yeah, the fight was cool, but speaking of evilness, he's not really up there to compete with Annabella. Yeah, when we were talking about the final combat with Ultima at the end, yes, the cutscene and each phase was quite interesting and different challenges at each phase, but of course it's not like difficult challenge, it's just different style, but
Yeah.
somehow they made the Bahama and Titan fight way cooler, so suddenly it felt like Ultima wasn't as cool as Titan and Bahama's fight.
Oh yeah, the Titan one was epic, and then yeah, the Bahamut one was like they ranked it up even more.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was super epic as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, maybe yeah, that one was crazy because like yeah, they went into space and they were like doing fusions, like they fused together,
yeah,
and yeah, that was super crazy. I was like, wow, why is Bahamut so powerful? It was
yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
crazy.
And yeah, because I started to play the game first, and so when my husband watched me play, and then he decided to start his own playthrough as well. So when he was doing the Titan fight, I also watched, but of course I didn't tell him about what happened and stuff. I just watch and enjoy watching him play because he's a much better gamer than me. um,
Okay.
and after second phase, went into the third phase, when they were floating in the Mother Crystal ether area.
Hmm.
And when they entered the third phase, he was like, "Oh my god, why are you not dead yet?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
it goes on.
because before the Titan one, the actual icon fight was actually versus Garuda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So compared to Garuda, suddenly the Titan fight was really fun and epic. And
Oh okay. It's like a big jump
yeah,
up,
it's a
right?
big
Yeah.
jump up. Yeah, and also three phases. Well, I guess. I mean, second phase kind of have like two parts, but the music was epic and really,
Oh yeah.
really cool.
We have to shout out to the music in Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in that Titan fight,
Mm.
it just gets really hyped up. Yeah, and I really enjoyed listening to the music while playing the whole game. Like the music is like definitely a highlight of the game,
Definitely.
and especially in that Titan fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Titan and the Bahama fight. These two, I mean, I cannot pick my favorite between these two. Because each has
Oh
their
wow.
own really interesting and fun parts, and it's a basic a tide for me. I cannot pick which one's my favorite.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Same. Yeah, those two are the most epic boss fights, and they're probably like the best boss fights in all of video games.
it's
Yeah,
so yeah,
they're that epic.
it's epic and just like okay. Besides
Yeah.
epic and cool and I don't know, like gorgeous and any other positive words just throwing there, to describe it.
Yeah, yeah, super cool.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, that's really good.
yeah, so I mean, when you experienced these two fights, and then when you get to the Ultima fight, suddenly it's like, oh, okay, you're the main antagonist, but your fight it's not as cool.
Yeah, they couldn't go up much further than the Titan and Bahamut
Yeah,
fights, right?
yeah, yeah.
there was not much more space to go up
Yeah.
from there.
So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, I guess I mean, Ultima. I guess he kind of served the purpose of telling you the final piece of the background story of the world. Yeah, and other than that, I felt like he was rather a weak main antagonist for the game.
Yeah, especially compared to other Final Fantasy
Yeah,
games. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't think he stands out. Like you have like Sephiroth, of course,
yeah,
and other really like strong antagonists
yeah,
in the game.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't compare.
But then still, overall, it's fun nonetheless.
Yeah, what did you make of the ending to the game? So yeah, this is we can get into like what you thought the meaning of the ending was, and like yeah, once we defeat Ultima, and like the crystals are destroyed, and like the magic is taken away from Valistea,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we get a scene with Clive on the
Mm-hmm.
beach, and I think it is his left hand that becomes
Petrified.
like petrified.
Yeah.
Yep, and we see him staring at the moon,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of fades away, and it kind of cuts away, so we don't really know like did he die, or
Did he?
what really
Yeah.
happened.
It was something that a lot of us were talking about after we finished the game. And that's what we were talking about, like whether you have done all the side quests, really that would really change how you view the final ending.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, some people would say, "Oh, it's just copium," you know. But I mean, come on,
Yeah,
just let us have some hope, you know. And
yeah, let us have some hope.
yeah,
It's kind of like an Inception ending, if you watch the movie
yeah,
Inception,
yeah, yeah,
like where they have the spinning top, and it's just kind of like an open-ended question to the
yeah.
ending, right? So
So I mean, the way they done it, it's like kind of in a poetic way. I mean, it's not bad if they want to aim for like a poetic, way to show it. But for Clive, and I would say at least for him, he's like the main storyteller, right? He's done so much for the world, and he finally realized what he really wanted at the end, right? Um, and finally, confessing to jail. I just felt like if he died, that would be really cruel for somebody who has just worked so hard for everyone in the world. It's kind of
yeah,
unfair.
yeah, sounds fair.
Yeah, and so yeah, I mean, based on the bits and hints that we get from the side quest, I
Mm-hmm.
I would like to think that he actually managed to survive, and he was the one who actually wrote the book, because the side quest from Hippocrates, that he received that quill pen.
Oh yeah, he received the quill from.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you complete the Hippocrates side quest, you get as an item like a curiosity
Yes.
that you can display what was that, his room,
Yeah,
in
yeah, in his
Clive's room.
chamber. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in his chamber. Yeah, one of them is like a special quill.
Yes. Um,
For Clive to write his adventures or
yeah,
stories with. So.
yeah. Because I remember he was told, after all this over, that you could put down the sword and pick up the pen to write about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And and also
Yeah.
he was the one who narrates the beginning and the end of the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we started the game with him,
Interesting.
with his voice narrating the story, and then at the
Yeah,
end also
that's
closing
true.
with his
Voice. Ah, okay, that's a good point. Yeah.
and one thing we talked about was that he kind of has this habit of taking on other people's name, like it for him,
Yeah.
maybe it's a way for these people to continue to live on, like another way for them to live on.
Hmm. So yeah. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, because like he does take up Sid's name, and he is called. Most people call him Sid at the latter part of the
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
So yeah, so he has this trait. So we could see, like, yeah, at the end there's the cutscene where there's the kids playing in
Mhm.
like this kind of distant future. We don't really know like how far ahead it is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we have these two kids playing in like a little house with their little puppy dog, and they kind of represent like Clive and Joshua and
Yeah,
Torgal playing around. And we see in this new world they don't have magic to use, right? Because he has to like light the fire himself
yeah, yeah,
without
yeah,
magic. So yeah, and then we see like they're reading this book called Final Fantasy, and it says it's written by Joshua Rossfield, right?
yes.
Yeah, so that's the question. Like, was it really Joshua that wrote the book, or yeah, like you said, like when you do the side quests, especially like the Hippocrates one, and you get that quill, and you get that note with the quill, yeah, it kind of suggests like that Clive wrote the book, right?
Yeah, like he
Yeah.
was the one, telling the story all along, to recount all the memories, um, and that was a way for him to remember Joshua, and also for Joshua to continue to live on. Like that's another way.
Oh,
There
okay.
was one another point also, that I didn't
Mm-hmm.
see other people talked about this, but I saw some Japanese players talked about, hints or evidence to show that Clive actually survived, because um, because he was the one who actually knew the lines from that play, the play that he and his uncle was doing.
Oh, yeah, he remembered those lines.
Yeah,
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 when they reenact it.
yeah, and reacted. And so we think, so a lot of people think that if he was the one telling the
Hmm.
whole Final Fantasy 16 story, then he should be the one who wrote the book and survived because he knew all the lines in the detail.
Oh, because he remembered those
Yeah,
lines from the play
yeah,
when he was a kid,
yeah, and he,
even though it was a long time
yeah,
ago.
even that was a long time ago. If he can, if somebody can
Mm.
remember that so much, so like really detailed, that it has to be the person himself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that was another point
Yeah.
that was brought up, on one of the
Mm.
the other Japanese sites that I browsed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's quite interesting actually. And
Hmm.
yeah, and also another point was that I noticed that to support that theory is like his left hand becomes petrified,
Yeah,
and like but Clive is
yeah.
right-handed. As you can see, like with his sword, he holds his sword in his right hand.
Hmm.
So that suggests like he would still be able to write the book
Yeah,
with his right hand,
yeah, and then
if that is what happened to his hand.
yeah, and also like people say like some people will argue that he died because his left hand became petrified, but we also have to remember, in I think that was the scene at Martha's Rest when they bumped into Sid and um Good
Yeah,
again. Yeah, you saw parts.
outside.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
saw how much that petrification was on Sid's left hand.
Oh yeah, Sid was slowly getting petrified. His arm
Yeah,
was
yeah.
getting turned to stone.
Yeah, and so right, he's not dead yet, right? He was still alive, and
Mm-hmm.
even Toria was talking about how Gio's curse has gotten worse.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
but you know
that's true.
they are still functioning.
Yeah, I think I believe in that ending as well.
Hmm.
The one where like Clive is still alive and he wrote the book himself. What do you think about the hint in the cafe? Do you think that quill and the book, which was placed in the Square Enix Cafe, is also hinting at that too,
I
or you just think it's just a random quill?
Well, it's funny though because I felt like they put the book there. It's like a reminder, to tell people, make sure you actually play the game and watch till the end to see this book. And I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember, the way they place the quill actually is to they actually place it and then cover the author's name in the cafe.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
they didn't reveal the writer, the author of the book. They specifically placed the quill
on
yeah,
top,
on top,
over
yeah,
the.
over the author's name in the cover.
Oh, oh, okay. So that's like makes it even more mysterious.
Yeah. So yeah, because I got a picture of that, and I noticed, they covered the name.
Mm, that's cool. So like yeah, the cafe was even hinting towards this mystery as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a sad ending in terms of like that would mean that Joshua was would have died at the end, and he didn't get like revived by Clive.
Mm.
Um, but that would be an interesting ending. Yeah, I think it would be quite sad if Clive passed away at the end, and they didn't get to meet Jill again. That would be quite a sad ending.
Yeah. One of my other friends who just finished the first playthrough said, um, despite that he also really liked Joshua, this character, he said, um, I believe that maybe he didn't make it. He died. At the end, Clive just trying to repair his body so he doesn't, die there and with a hole and bloody all over him.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
He said because the way that Clive, act at the time, like he was trying to remember all the bits of memory with Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh yeah, them growing up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then he said that he said to me it's more like he's really dead. That's why the big brother is, going through all these memories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah, and
that's
then
his
that's
thing.
why he would dedicate the book towards him, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's
Okay.
how he maybe remembers and dedicates the deceased ones that he really loved. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really touching the story
Mhm.
if you think about it in that way, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I like to imagine that story as well. That makes you tear up a bit of this think about like how much Clive
Yeah,
loved his brother.
yeah.
Yeah, it really is a story about the core is like about that brotherhood, right?
Hmm.
It's about the relationship between Clive and Joshua, which really drives the main story, I would
Yeah,
say.
and I mean, the main logo of 16 is also Ifrit and Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, one of my friends
Yeah.
said that, the story actually started with these two brothers, so it's only reasonable to also end the story showing the brothers.
Yeah, definitely. And it has those little kids as well at the end with those two brothers
Yeah,
running around with their
yeah,
puppy
yeah.
in the future. So yeah, if you think about it in that context, yeah, it's really like a very really moving story about like the power of brotherhood
Hmm.
and like the like the deep connections
Yeah,
between these two brothers.
yeah.
And yeah, if yeah, and that makes the story adds like an extra layer of emotion
Hmm.
and yeah to the story, and yeah, it's quite touching if you think about it in that way,
Hmm.
which is yeah why I like to think about it. Yeah, in that sense, like yeah, it's really about their brotherly love and how they uh both look after each other. Because yeah, I think it was quite impressive that Joshua went for so long and he didn't reveal himself to his brother.
Yeah,
He was just trying to protect him.
yeah. That
Yeah,
part
like
too.
from the shadows.
Yeah, and yeah, we were talking about how that 18 years, to be honest, it would be something that we would love to see what he was doing in that 18 years. Like how did he find out Ultima, and how was he being saved and found by the Undying?
Yeah, I would love to see like that if they explain that in some kind of DLC.
Yeah.
Because I think Yoshi P did mention that they kind of do have DLC in plans, but
Hmm.
like they're not ready to talk about it yet. But they're kind of hinting at DLC that will be coming later down the line.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think that isn't like a lot of people say they want to see like the backstories of the different dominants. But yeah, I would like to see like the backstory of Joshua during those 18 years.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I understand, I understand other people's feeling that they want to see dominance background stories, but if we're just talking about to focusing on the mainline story, um, bits that actually really need to answered, right? So yeah, I think that
Hmm.
18 years for Joshua, that is quite important. And that would be kind of nice if we get to play as Joshua and then try out his Phoenix ability in combat. That would be
Yeah.
really cool.
Hmm.
Um,
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
yeah, another DLC that I would like to see. It would be like Jill when she was taken away, right?
Ah,
And maybe we get
when
to
she was in the Mickey and
sorry,
people
the
down.
Iron
Is that Mickey?
Iron Kingdom.
Yeah, the Iron Kingdom. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, with the Iron Kingdom. Sorry.
So yeah, I would like to see, like, you know, that experience when she was struggling, and then when she actually awoken, yeah, awake as a Shiva, maybe try her skills as well. And
Oh.
one more story that I personally would like to see. It's
Mm-hmm.
actually Sid, because he
Mm.
said that I knew who you are to Otama when you faced him the first time, right? And
Yeah.
so we knew that he served Walu before as a Lord Commander, and I would like to know,
Mm.
for example, like how did he know Otama, and to what extent um, that he knew about Barnabas' plan, and how he actually decided to escape or to leave Walud. Um, and remember,
Mm.
he found out the truth about Mother Crystal, and so he attempt to destroy that Mother Crystal in Sunbreak in Oriflame. And he said, "Oh, I ran away," and he was running away from Bahamut down there when he was trying to destroy the Mother Crystal.
Yeah.
So I thought that
Oh yeah.
that part could actually be a really fun final fight. You fought
Oh,
as
okay.
you fought as Ramu against Bahama, and then later as
Yeah.
Sid trying to get away from that hole or the passage that he made.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because when you go there, there's this big hole, and he's like, "Oh, I made that before, right?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
In his
that
fight.
the Empire didn't patch it up. So I was like, it's kind of fun, if you can play
Yeah.
this part and then manage to get away later.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, he's been there before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, so yeah, that
Yeah.
that part of the story, yeah, I would like to see,
Mm.
to what extent he knew about it, and yeah, just try out different abilities and see more of the world. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that would be awesome if they could put that in the DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah. And since we're on the topic of DLC,
Hmm.
what do you think about the Leviathan? Because there's one brief mention of the Leviathan when Joshua was looking at that tapestry, but we don't. But that's all we see of the Leviathan.
There were
Would you?
actually other hints about it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. There's this something about a snake, right? Making the crater in the next. Where's it? Where in the next to the town? There's this big waterfall area.
Northreach.
Maybe, yeah, Northreach.
Yeah. It
What
was.
was the other hints you saw?
Yeah, well, it was actually toward the end game when you go back to Northreach again to help the dame and the townspeople. You notice that in
Mm-hmm.
this small open area, suddenly there's a group of kids with a storyteller.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and the storyteller actually talks about a big serpent,
Oh.
and so that was another mention of about hinting a Leviathan. And then when you talk to the bard in Northreach also, you found out that he is also actually one of the Undying members. And then he also talked about, yeah, I think he also talked about that whatever, maybe a crystal from the ocean. And then one of the soldier from the garrison, I think, also was a soldier or townspeople, I forgot, also mentioning that the empire has sent people to investigate, but no one ever returned.
Oh, okay.
So they are
That's
so the
interesting.
mentioning of sending people to investigate, but no one returned. They actually talked about it twice.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So they're leaving they're leaving some trails for a setup for some future Leviathan themed story.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because when I was reading the interview when Yoshipi was in Taiwan, and the interviewer also the reporter also asked about, like, what about a possibility of like a DLC story of Leviathan. He seemed a bit reluctant to talk about it. He's like, "Do I have to?"
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
So it's kind of
is it
hinting
like,
it's coming.
yeah, it's like, are you hinting something, or you just don't want to talk about it? What's the story here?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we can hope that may be something,
Hmm.
yeah, in the future.
Yeah, because we need another epic icon like kaiju battle. So I think that
The sea
that
monster
Leviathan
battle.
would make sense, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we need another one, right?
yeah. To
Yeah,
complete to complete the Final Fantasy 16 epicness.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think yeah we would definitely see Leviathan.
Hmm.
Yeah, hopefully. And oh yeah, that'd be cool. Oh yeah, what was up with what was the other icon like what was his name? You fight another like icon thing? Oh, Typhon. We fight Typhon,
Yeah,
right?
that one.
What's up with that one?
That was interesting one.
I have no idea. Yeah, because it's not like a proper icon, but it kind of is. But I don't know what I didn't know what was up with that personally.
For me, it felt like it was part of or one of the kins of Otama.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and yeah,
A bit like
the music was also kind of
Barnabas or something.
funky. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Barnabas was an interesting character.
Yes.
He's been alive for a long time, right?
Yeah.
And serving and serving Ultima.
Hmm. So
And
he
yeah,
hasn't
we
aged.
still see
Yeah.
his mother as well, right?
Yeah. That illusion part was a bit creepy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, creepy. They kept changing characters.
Yeah. Oh, what's happening now? Now that is creepy.
Yeah, that was a creepy part,
Yes.
but it was cool.
Hmm.
But yeah, I like all the characters. They're really cool, and like Dion as well, and his relationship with what was the name of his
Terrence.
uh Terrence? Yeah, Terrence.
Yeah.
That was quite cool, touching as well.
Very touching. Yeah, and I feel like, I feel so bad. I feel so sorry for Terrence though, because Dion sent him away, and that part just really heartbreaking.
Yeah. He had to like just follow his orders and deny his like feelings.
Yeah.
Just yeah, that was.
So yeah, I mean, after the game, yeah, we talked about how each character were actually really well designed, and you just kind of hope that everyone will have a good ending for them,
Mm-hmm.
except Annabella.
Yeah. Okay, so
Except her. Yeah, except.
yeah, except her. Everything except her.
Yeah.
And what happened to her son? Was he real or not? I don't even know.
I don't know. For me, I from what I understand, I think he was real, but then possessed and used by Ultima.
Oh, okay. Just possessed by Ultima.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when he died, he just like evaporates into the thin air.
Yeah, and then
Like it's not
that's
like his body just drives.
that's the way how Akashic
Mhm.
died.
Oh yeah, like the Akashic people. Oh yeah, some of those Akashic stories, like when you're with the brother
Hmm.
that he becomes Akashic trying to
Oh, the
save the
caravan.
town from the dragon.
Yeah, the caravan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the caravan people. Yeah,
Oh God, that was
that
heartbreaking.
was a good side quest. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some good things. Yeah. Okay, so coming towards the end of the podcast, I think we'll just talk about I'll quickly discuss some of our favorite characters or parts of the game, and then we'll go into some listener questions. So yeah, Alice, what was your favorite side quest? Would you say in the game, or one of your favorites?
Favorite. Well, like I mentioned before, I really enjoy the side quest. For Torgal and Ambrosia. I really like those reuniting quests.
Okay, yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, and of course, the quest with Jill, Priceless.
Mm-hmm.
That was the part that he really decided to confess and to show his feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was a really how should I say, deciding
Mm-hmm.
turning
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were really nice. Yeah, I would say those were the Torgal one, probably my favorite one. Yeah, just
Hmm.
yeah, and then see that little cute puppy toggle in the flashback as well. You get a nice little glimpse.
Yeah, yeah. It's really
Yeah,
heartwarming.
really heartwarming, and
Yeah.
you get to go to like a new area that you haven't really been to before, so
Mm-hmm.
that was really cool as well, and explore
Mm-hmm.
like this little hut, like tree house kind of hut thing. Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, and yeah, I thought that was a really good, nice side quest there. Oh yeah, speaking
Yeah.
of Jill and Clive, what did you think of like the like more
Mm-hmm.
romantic scenes? Like, so in some scenes they're completely naked.
The beach
Yeah,
one.
the beach one.
I I have to say, like, that's probably a really beautiful and beautiful thing, as in like the way they portray it and also the
Mm-hmm.
music. Yeah, I really really like the background music at the time because the piano, and they always play that track when it's just Jill and
Oh,
Clive.
okay, nice
Yeah, so um I think that's the track dedicated
for
for
them.
them
Oh,
only.
okay, yeah, that was like a really nice,
Yeah,
touching scene. Yeah,
and I have to say, the way they done it, it's, you know, people would not think that it's dirty or anything. It's actually really beautiful and
yeah,
romantic.
yeah, yeah. They did it quite well considering they're
So
both like naked, and they made it like really like elegant, and yeah, it was quite a really nice
yeah,
scene.
yeah, and I think I think that was probably the first like completely naked scene in the
Yeah,
all Final Fantasy
probably.
games,
Yeah, I don't think I've seen. Yeah, especially with
right?
the ladies, like the female characters. I don't think we've seen them but naked
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and I do think that it's a nice way to try new things and to try to move up, and because I think this is the first M rated
Yeah,
game in the main line,
yeah.
right? I mean, besides the what's that one?
But yeah, I
Stranger
think
of
there was
Paradise.
another
Besides,
Type Zero. I think maybe it was. I'm not sure, but yeah,
oh yeah, right, yeah, Type Zero, yeah. Um, the way I have to say that the way they done it, it's actually very well.
mm-hmm.
You wouldn't feel it's like not right. You
Yeah,
actually want to see the development between these two characters
mm-hmm.
because you could see the chemistry between them,
Yeah,
but it's always like, one step
yeah, yeah,
away from that.
yeah. I think they did it really well, and yeah, they used
Mm.
that M rating really well. Yeah, it wasn't too like
Yeah,
gratuitous, or they used the F word, but it wasn't like overly used. And yeah, that's the one thing that shocked me is like the when Hugo's hands got cut off. That was quite shocking. And they just like fall on the floor.
yeah, yeah. That it's kind of funny because I've seen some players complaining about too much blood or too much swearing, and I want to say, like, yeah, I mean, it's an action game, or when you fight or when you cut something off, of course you're gonna see
Yeah,
blood, right? And about like too much swearing, I just want to say, like, what, you don't swear like that in real life? Are you trying to say that you never swear
yeah,
in situations that really make you angry? That's a little bit having a bit double
yeah,
standard
yeah,
here.
yeah. I think they definitely used the swear words in the right place and appropriate manner, and
Yeah.
it's really realistic. Like
Yeah.
if your hands get cut off, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, like, of course you would be like shocked and like really angry,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Or if you're like in a battle to the death,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So, I mean, they use that in the correct in the correct
yeah, yeah.
frustration, frustrating things.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it, to be honest. Regardless the naked scene or swearing or
Mhm.
the sight of blood, I think each one, it's just to the right amount. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I felt that way too. That's cool. Oh, I just remembered
Yeah.
one of the side quests which I really liked. Is the one where you go
Mm-hmm.
to, I think it's you go over to Walut, and you go to this camp where they were holding bearers, and they're like imprisoned, and they were feeding the bearers to the monsters. Uh,
The is it like you have to fight a behemoth
Yes,
king
and then
at
yes,
the end?
and
Yeah,
yeah,
that
they're
one.
feeding the bearers to this behemoth king, and you get to experience
Mm-hmm.
like quite a touching story about how the bearers were treated really bad, like just food for these monsters, um and
Mm-hmm.
and they were just imprisoned and used really badly, and there's just like this one little girl that survives,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And yeah, speaking of that one, I thought that was actually a really good side quest that also allows us to learn the background story of an NPC
Mm-hmm.
character, because stories, you kind of do a couple quests with to learn her background story, which I think it's actually quite nice because through her story you learn more about the world and about how the bearers being
Mm-hmm.
treated. Some were treated really
Mm.
poorly, or some were treated, I would say, a bit strange. Like the way how her previous master treated her, like trained her like a killer, but also really love her like a daughter,
Oh
kind of.
yeah.
It's really strange.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really strange
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah. There were some strange ones, yeah. Like yeah, some of them were just trained to be like or soldiers, yeah. And then some were trained just to be like slaves. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
quite sad. Yeah, but I really liked that mission because you got to go to like a new area. It was like a new level. So that was like it was like
Right.
changed things up from the usual side quests, which are more like fetch quests, where you go to places you've been before. But this one was like you kind of go to a new area and like you have to. It's like more video gamey. You have to like get these keys to unlock the doors and explore the area and then fight the boss. So I kind of like the structure of that side quest, and the story was really good as well. So yeah, I like that one.
Similarly, I think there was another one in Walu as well that was it one of the Undying members sent you to
Mm,
to look for a member, right, in Walu.
yeah.
And then it was in a small area or small village in Walu that it was locked before, and it was only open for that side quest.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a cool mission. Yeah. Unfortunately, they were like, yeah, they
Yeah,
all died, right? All the scouts.
they all turned Naka.
That was sad.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Okay, cool. And next, we'll talk about what was your favorite boss battle? You said the Titan. Oh, we already talked about that one. The Titan and the Bahamut ones were the best, right? Yeah,
yeah,
those were the
yeah,
most
yeah,
hype ones.
definitely.
Yeah, same here. If I had to choose, I'd probably go the Bahamut one because I thought they just like they they turned it up a bit more.
One
Yeah,
up.
from the because like they were
Yeah,
in space, like doing like Dragon Ball stuff. It was great. It was going way too crazy. I was like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And favorite character. Who would you say is your favorite character or characters in the game?
They are actually equally interesting in their own, in each character. For me, I have to say, like, if you were talking about like the main line, out of the eight dominants, um, I really like Jill, because the way that she seems very strong, but also very sensitive in her heart, and she's always there to support Clive. It's like a really, so she's actually playing a really important role, and the way that she um the way that she speaks also, I think, um slowly changes from, when she was in the Iron Kingdom. She has to kind of turn a blind eye and kind of shield her feelings, but then slowly I think she turns out to be like more, um just a little bit talkative and more feelings revealed as the
Mm-hmm.
story
Yeah.
progressed. So I like to see that change, and as well as Clive, you really see the each character how they change and develop throughout the story. So um, yeah, I have to say these two, Clive and Jill, they are quite well written,
Mm-hmm.
and I like them, especially Jill, because the change. But for the side other characters, I really like Gav.
Oh yeah, Gav is cool. Yeah, he's a cool.
Yeah, oh my god, it's like,
He's such a cool
yeah,
character.
he's like the best buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Good
Gav.
buddy.
Um, he's just really funny. Oh my gosh, so funny. Um, so yeah, I really like the way that he speaks and the way that he acts. So every time when he's away, I just feel like, oh my god, please don't die,
Yeah,
Gav, please don't die.
Gav's a good guy.
Yeah, yeah. And also I quite like Karen, this character,
Oh
because
yeah.
she, yeah, because she may, she may sound like she's, the way that she speak a bit mean, she say, come back later or don't, I'm not so bothered about it
Yeah, yeah.
anyway. um but you know inside in her heart, she's actually a really really nice grandma.
Mm-hmm.
The way that she actually found goods and
Yeah.
then raised him. Yeah,
When she's
so
not cutting
I
people's eyes
really
out.
like all these. Yeah, that too. Eye for eye, right?
Yeah. That's joke. Yeah, but she's cool. Yeah, she's a cool
Yeah,
character.
yeah. I actually know a friend. When we ask him about, who's your favorite character, he's like, it might be surprising, but I quite like Karen because it's like an ideal, um, kind of mean but actually very gentle
Yeah,
and nice grandma
yeah,
character.
that's true. She's cool. And the way she
Yeah,
looks after the
yeah,
goods is quite cool. Yeah, it's quite touching.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Their
yeah,
relationship.
and I think like, yeah, this is a really well written, really
Yeah,
interesting
yeah.
NPC there.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say Clive of course is my favorite, and I would
Hmm.
also give a shout out to Sid. I really like Sid, especially the voice acting of Sid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really liked his
Oh
character.
my god,
Mhm.
fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, and
Yeah.
they're kind of trying to continue the legend of Sid in the game. Like that's what Clive's trying to do, like uphold what Sid was
Hmm.
fighting for. Yeah, because he kind of joins like
Hmm.
Sid's cause, and he takes that mantle on from himself. So yeah, I think Sid was like a really cool character. Um,
Yeah, and I feel like this is probably like the best Sid that I have,
mm, yeah,
seen from the games I
in
have
all the
played so
Final
far. It's like,
Fantasies.
this is so cool. I'm so, yeah, I'm so sad that you die so early in the game, and I don't know, maybe that's why I do like second and third playthrough so that
Yeah,
I could see him and hear him more.
yeah. He's not like the Sid in Final Fantasy VII that like um, gets angry and orders people to make them tea.
Yeah, yeah. This Sid is really cool. It's like, I don't know, when I was playing for the first time, the first playthrough, and I just felt like this Sid, it's more like a father figure that Clive lost so early on in
Mm,
his childhood.
mm,
Um, because, right, the Phoenix Gate was when he was 15 years old, and then after
yeah.
that, he basically lost that father figure, somebody to look up
Mm-hmm.
to, and so not only a mentor, but also maybe it's a father figure that he got taken away
Mm,
so early.
yeah. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
such a cool character. Yeah. Yeah, Mid is also cool. So yeah, shout out to Mid. She is like super smart and can make anything, right? Yeah. But yeah,
Super energetic
yeah.
as well.
I didn't like her boring side. Like it wasn't a side mission. It was like a main quest where she's showing you all those blueprints and getting you to make the ship.
Yeah, I know.
What was the ship's name? I
I
forgot the Invincible. No, the Invincible was the older one.
what
The Enterprise or something like that. Yeah.
Enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I Yeah, of course, during the first playthrough, I watched and listened to the conversation for that quest. But for the second
Yeah.
and the third playthrough, I
Skip,
just
skip, skip,
skip.
skip. Yeah, I don't blame
Yeah,
you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't blame you. But yeah, yeah. Yeah, but overall, it's yeah, such an amazing game, and yeah, so much amazing stuff for it. For yeah, so yeah, it's been like a super good experience. What's your overall rating for the game?
Overall, I would give 7 out of 10. Yeah. Um, I think, of course, because there were some personal preference. Because, for example, the ending, I really wish they would give us a more defined and like definite, clear ending instead of like a poetic, ambiguous way. Because we invest so much time, and we became to love the character so much, and it's just cruel and sad to see they don't get to have a happier ending.
Oh,
So
so yeah,
you know points were kind of
points
taken off
deducted
because
for
of that.
that.
Yeah.
You want more, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because we love the character so much, we just want them to be
yeah,
happy, um and of course a bit of, like you said, some side quests um were a bit boring. I mean, despite they are related to the
mm-hmm.
story because you understand the world, but I felt like
Yeah,
they could have done it better.
same.
So yeah, yeah. And otherwise, I think I don't have too much complaints about it, and that's why I would say
Okay,
it's like a seven out
overall,
of ten.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool. Yeah,
overall. Yeah.
I think I'd still give it a high rating because I enjoyed it a lot. I originally gave it like a nine
Mm-hmm.
or 9 out of 10. That's just because I really enjoyed
Mm-hmm.
like the combat and like the high production values, and it was like
Mm-hmm.
really entertaining. But yeah, I think it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a perfect game. There are some issues, especially with like the pacing of the side quests. They can get really
Yeah. Some of.
boring. They can get like, yeah, they can get super boring, some of the side quests, because they're quite
Yeah.
similar and repetitive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think,
Yeah.
yeah, you could definitely like take away points for that. Um, but overall, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really good game, and like, yes, there's a lot you can do in it, and the story is really touching, and um yeah, overall I think it's a good step for like just like a something, trying something new for the Final Fantasy team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I like them to
Yeah.
keep on trying, just to refine those elements that didn't work, like get rid of those invisible wall things and improve the side
Oh my
quests,
gosh. Yeah.
and yeah. Then yeah, I think it would be a much better experience that way. Maybe some of the item, or like make a bit more light, like some more fun elements in the game. Maybe some like mini games or something like that, just to add to the world would have been
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And then one, it's almost like a joke. Every treasure box that you find, it's almost just like
Oh yeah, it's like,
trash
yeah,
item.
it's like two, like some hide skins or something.
Yeah, it's really rare because I mean I know a couple treasure box. The coffers contain some useful item like
Oh,
some
some accessories,
was
right?
it belts
Yeah,
or yeah, yeah, but it's like not all of them. It's like
yeah,
very
yeah.
few. The rest are just like open up. Oh, okay, more
Yeah,
hides.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, more
There's
wire
more
rights.
trash, right? And I got thousands of
Yeah,
hides
it's like
with
okay,
nothing
more
to do with
hides.
them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
At the end of the
Okay,
game.
I checked like this carry over the game, right? So when I checked it, it was like, wow, I have
Yeah,
like
yeah.
3,000
And there's like
hides.
nowhere to use them, right?
You just sell them
Yeah,
for
and they're,
for
even
gil,
when you
yeah.
sell them, they're not worth much, right? It's like,
20 gil, 20
yeah,
gil
yeah.
each.
Oh yeah, and it's worse when you pick up an item in the fields and it's like 2 gil, and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 4 gil, what?
Fuck yeah, that's also funny. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right.
Okay, so yeah,
Mhm.
thanks Alice for your impressions of the game. Yeah, it was really fun. We just have one or two listener questions, and then we'll end the show. Okay, so
Okay.
first question. Okay, wait, I'm just gonna go look up the questions. Okay, this first question from at Leon Harrod1, who asks on Twitter, will Square Enix do a sequel for Final Fantasy 16, just like they did a sequel to Final Fantasy 10 and 13, perhaps? What do you think?
If they do that, I'm more than happy to buy and play it. And and at the moment, to be honest, I really hope they would, because there are so many more to to 16 that you could actually expand. And like we talk about, maybe the other side of the story, maybe stories for Joshua, or stories for more of the world of Astia. So if they do that, I think that there are potentials. They could expand and talk more about it, and we could enjoy journeying in Bastia. Or maybe, Jill hinted that she wanted to go on a journey, but away from
Yes.
twins. So yeah, that's also kind of fun. We could, because they mentioned about the outer continent so many times in the game. So I just felt like, if you talked about it so many times, why not? Why not go there for like
Yeah, that'd
the
be
sequel
awesome.
or something? That would be
Yeah,
kind of
and
fun.
to keep in line with that, Sleepy Meow Meow at Sleepy Meows on Twitter asks, I'm interested in 2 points. On the priceless quest, Jill talked about the twins was too small for her and she liked to travel outside the twin. What is your idea on her trip? So yeah, you're kind of touching on that then, like, yeah.
So we mentioned how, yeah, we mentioned how she said twins is too small for her. She would like to spread her wings and to go outside of twins. So if they really want to use that and to expand, maybe it's her maybe it's her story. Maybe she sets out to look for Clive, because at the end, when we see them looking up to the sky, it felt like the location, the sky that they looked up were quite different. um yeah, so the way, sorry, the sky that Jill looks up, it's in Bastia, but feels like the sky that Clive looks up wherever he got washed up on the beach. um that may not be the same place or the same continent as
Oh, okay.
where other people were. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
in a sense, I felt like maybe we could see her continuing the journey. Like maybe we could continue the journey of Final Fantasy 16, but this time we play as Jill.
That'd be awesome. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could
Yeah,
do that
it would be,
in the
because in
sequel.
16 it was like, Clive with Torgal, right? So in the sequel, if they are going to do like a 16-2, or or like a DLC or something, it could be Jill traveling with Torgal.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for that, Alice. Is there
hmm
anything else you'd like to add about the game? Otherwise, you can just wrap it up for today.
I just say, like, I know there are people who um write or say negative comments about this game. A lot of them have never really actually played the game, or
Hmm.
some of these people, they just watched other people's playthrough on YouTube, like that. um so I feel like you couldn't really understand all these feelings and the depth of this game unless you actually play it.
Hmm.
um and you don't have to trash a game like this, like that way. um so I have to say, like, for me personally, I'm on my third playthrough, like I said, and I guess that really tells how much I enjoy and how much I really love it.
Yeah.
And so, this is just my own opinion. And if you don't like a game, you don't have to trash it really. You could just say, okay, maybe it's not my taste, but there are still some parts I enjoy. You could try to balance the comments a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunately, yeah, online you get a lot of haters, even if they haven't played the game. Yeah, it's a sad thing.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
they should at
yeah,
least give it a try before they talk bad things about it. I think, yeah, with all
yeah,
games.
yeah. So for me, yeah, I just want to say, at least try to find something good about it that you enjoy, but just please don't trash the game and trash the players who enjoy this game.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay.
So, but yeah, yeah, again, yeah. So yeah, thanks so much for inviting me on the show. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, thanks Alice for being on the show today. Can you just let people know where they can find you?
Yeah, sure. So as for where people can find me, if you are interested in collaboration events in Japan or simply life in Japan, you can find me on Twitter, or I guess we have to call it X now.
Oh yeah.
Um, you can search for my username, alishow1825. So Alishow is like ALISHO and the number 1825. So yeah, thank you for listening. It was really nice being on the show and sharing with you all today. So yeah, I really had fun.
Oh yeah, thanks so much, Alice. Yeah, it was great having you on and really fun talking about Final Fantasy 16. So thanks everyone for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye bye.